Do 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 do. Do 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 do. What we got? Yo, what's up, Tom Moon? Haha. What's up, brother? I don't know if I'm a big dog or not right now, but I decided that, yeah, man, the cut's going pretty good, man. But whew, I need to bump up my carbs a little bit. I've been feeling a little bit of fatigue lately. How you doing, Tom? How are you doing? You know, Tom, one of my clients gave me some fresh eggs. She has 25 chickens. Look at this. She loaded me up. She's a country girl, and I'm training her at the gym. She gave me some fresh eggs. I told that girl, I was like, listen, that is the path to my heart. Giving me some fresh eggs. She gave me all these. I have chickens, but my chickens aren't quite laying right now. They're still getting used to everything, but her chickens have been laying like crazy, and she gave me all these eggs. I trained her for about 45 minutes, and obviously, you know, she's paying me because she's awesome and all, but then she gave me eggs too. Ooh wee, that is awesome. Oh yeah, man. Fighting through the back pain. I love me some eggs, man. Eggs are my go-to protein, man. I don't think there is a better source of protein on the planet than eggs. And it's not just the eggs, it's the fact that the eggs have the fat in them too. And it just kind of helps you absorb everything. Tom, oh yeah, it was a blessing. Absolutely, man. Well, the thing is, man, one thing I found in life, Tom, is that when I'm very positive, not weak, not too nice where people take advantage of you, but I do think that if you're a positive person and let me cut the better being does their best to stay positive and keep a good mindset, it does seem like things tend to work out for the better. You know what I mean? I do feel like things just tend to work out for the better when we keep that good mindset. I mean, that's also, we have to make the right choices and stuff, and you know, what is right and wrong to a lot of people. But to me, it's pretty obvious when you face decisions, there's right, there's wrong, there's the right thing to do and the wrong thing to do. So, thanks guys. Hope you're doing well. I'm cooking me some eggs. If you're in the chat, give a thumbs up. Got some yogurt, we got one of those. Very cool. So we're gonna down 26 grams of protein with this, and then we're gonna eat probably 4 eggs and then 4 half slices of a really good homemade bagel bread that one of the bakers make. Now guys, I tell you guys, when I say don't eat a lot of starch, what I'm talking about is, look, if you find a baker that makes their own rising and that makes their own starter, and you find a baker like I do, and you get real, actual bread, there's nothing wrong with eating it to stay lean. The problem is all the chemicals and the bull crap that's in the store. So what I do, in case any of you are wondering, I'll take a half a slice of some sourdough bagel, right? I don't eat a lot of carbs unless I'm depleting, right? And then I time it on other days. So I'll take that and I'll put a piece of egg on every one, and then I'll eat that with 26. So my breakfast is gonna be typically at least 50 to 75 grams of protein. if I'm gonna eat breakfast that day or whatever. So, but I eat kind of based on how my body needs stuff. But anyways, facts. Good morning, Shawnee. Good morning. Good morning, Shawnee. What a blessing. I'm gonna boil a bunch of eggs today and load potatoes. Oh, potato and egg taco. Well, potatoes are decent. If you're gonna eat a starch and you're training, potatoes, all right. I'm all for some good potatoes. Facts, positivity is key. I'm blessed just to wake up today. Facts, questions. Plants, you said that plants don't enjoy being eaten. Isn't that the same as animals? No, it's the same. So, Shawnee, what I say is plants don't want to be eating is a quote from the Cambridge professor who's the head of nutrition. No, the point I was making there, and thanks for that question, and good morning, by the way, but let me clarify what I meant by that. I don't eat a lot of different plants like Brussels sprouts and broccolis and all that stuff. And if you look at Dr. Anthony Chaffee online, you can find Dr. Anthony Chaffee, medical doctor. The point of that conversation is plants don't want to be eaten, which means nothing wants to die. Of course, animals don't want to be eaten. And you're proving my point. Nothing wants to be consumed. Nothing wants to die. So if you eat plants, the only defense mechanism that plants have is chemical warfare. They have oxalates and phytonutrients. For example, most of the plants out in the wild, most people can't eat a lot of plants. There's only certain ones that we can eat. So my whole point was the reason that I don't eat a lot of plants and a lot of veggies, I do eat a very few, is because it doesn't make me feel good. Plants are masters of chemical warfare. That's their self-defense. And I find a lot of people that eat a lot of those vegetables, a lot of times they don't function very well. Now, if you eat something and it makes you feel good, by all means, but I'm not gonna eat a lot of Brussels sprouts. I'm not gonna eat cauliflower. I'm not gonna eat a lot of nightshades, because in the old days when we used to cook those, even tomatoes, old wisdom will show you have to blanch tomatoes. You have to peel the skin. And I would just rather eat more, rather eat more proteins and fats, and then maybe have like some berries, maybe some yogurt here and there. Even now and then I'll get some of this, which I don't eat a lot of processed carbs, but this is sourdough bagel. A sourdough bagel made by one of my friends who also gives me pasteurized eggs. So at the end of the day, there's a lot of ways to eat. I'll eat banana, right? But as far as actual plants out in nature, yeah, they're masters of chemical warfare. A lot of times they poison the things that eat them, especially mammals. That's why certain mammals can only eat a certain type of plants. So that was my main point with that. Good morning. Well, that's fine. You can eat cucumbers all you want. And if you feel good eating cucumbers, that's fine. Don't let what I think affect how you do what you do in your life. Me personally, I can't stand cucumbers. If I put a veggie in my mouth and it tastes disgusting, I'm not going to eat it. Now, I will eat pickles. I do like pickles, but pickles have been fermented slightly, and they've kind of like gone through that process. And I feel like that negates some of the properties that might, hurt the body if you were to consume them. Now, I've always told you guys, these are my opinions and these are what I do. And again, I'm a professional trainer. I train nutrition. I'm 6'4". I'm getting lean. So if you see the pictures and stuff, you can see I'm decently lean. And I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm more of a calisthenics guy. So these are the things that I do. And when you ask me the reasons why I do the things, I'm always going to tell you. So I hope that clarifies that. And thank you for the chat. Always like it. Well, yeah, if you don't like something, I wouldn't eat it. Thoughts on celery? So here's the thing. Celery is a vasodilator. Not a vasodilator. It's it helps you drop water. It's a diuretic. So if you want to get really lean and you eat a bunch of celery, it'll pull water out. But as far as just eating something, I wouldn't just eat celery. If I was going to eat anything, it would probably be a carrot. But a carrot in the ground is probably my go-to. Maybe a carrot, maybe every now and then an onion or pepper. but I really don't eat a lot of vegetables, man. A big old salad with all these things all mixed together, it just destroys my stomach. It never feels good. And I'm pretty strong. I can run a mile in under 6 minutes at 40. At 6'4", 220 pounds. I can do hundreds of pull-ups. I do lots of plyometrics. Like, my body's pretty strong. And what I do is I listen to what my body does when I train and how I feel. And I recommend all of you guys do the same thing. At the end of the day, we all have different backgrounds. We all have different ancestries. What I do may not work for you, but I can tell you, as someone who trains a lot of people, my nutrition, it typically helps people get in really good shape. But at the end of the day, do what makes you feel good. Okay, like for me, my breakfast right now is basically sourdough bread from a baker. It's not processed bullcrap. Don't eat that processed bread at the stores, man. Sourdough homemade bread, pasteurized eggs from chickens, and then I'm gonna throw a core protein powder in here. And I may eat a banana. But what you guys gotta realize is, you see me getting leaner and my body's getting leaner. When I wanna bulk, I am gonna up my calories a bit. But I wanted to get rid of my body fat because I'm trying to get my waist. You see how my waist is just kind of popping like that? All these lines and all that stuff. What I'm doing is I'm getting my waist to shrink down, and then I'm going to build very, very detailed, because I don't like that big bulky look, that big fluffy bulky look. I don't like that look. I can't stand that look as far as what I would want to look like. I like my physique to have wide shoulders, taper. I like to have vascularity. And there's a way to eat to do that. Stock market opens in 12 minutes. So we are going to try to trade today. Very briefly. We'll see how the market responds this morning. If you guys are curious what I'm going to trade today when I go back to the studio, which I'm going to carry you guys with me over there, let me know if you're curious about what stocks I'm looking at this morning. And yeah, so good. All right. Okie dokie. And then we're going to get a good training session in too. Also, my client, for those who just came into the chat, my client, check this out. She has 25 chickens, and I train her at the gym. I train her 3 days a week, and she brought me fresh, pasteurized, beautiful eggs from her chickens. She even introduced me to her chicken. Her chicken's name is Brody. So thank you, Brody, for my eggs this morning. All right, so we have 25 grams there. We're gonna pop that. I do like mustard, so I use a little bit of mustard because mustard has 5 calories per serving. Remember, guys, when you're trying to get lean, if you're gonna eat and you do want to stay somewhat lean, use seasonings that have lower calories, right? A little bit of hot sauce, a little bit of mustard, very good with that. And then I'm also going to use a little bit of this, which is a low-fat cheese. A low-fat cheese. Why a low-fat cheese? Well, pretty simply put, because I believe in calories in versus calories out while trying to be somewhat, what would you say? Somewhat health conscious, but calories in versus calories out for the win every single time, guys. For those you want to get leaner, remember calories in versus calories out. You can say that that's not how it works. I strongly disagree. No matter what diet you choose, calories in versus calories out. So we have 4 slices of sourdough from a baker, right? 4 pasteurized eggs, 25 grams of a core protein whey isolate. And now, between that and my coffee, we're gonna head to the studio and we're gonna walk over there in a second. Let me get into the chat. You guys saying anything? Scott, do you eat any beef or beans? Oh yeah. Oh heck yeah. I'm a big fan of beef. Good cuts of beef, ribeyes, ground beef, absolutely. Beans, I will eat rice and beans sometimes, but the beans need to be prepared a certain way because beans have a lot of phytonutrients and they have lectins in it. So if you eat a lot of beans, sometimes it can cause digestive disorders. So as long as the beans are soaked and you pull the lectins out, then I can eat them. Now I could eat beans. I could live off a can of beans if I wanted to, but it would wreak havoc on my gut because I've kind of rebuilt my gut to be really healthy. So I wouldn't recommend doing that too much. I should have looked out the window at my office. I work across I should have looked out the window. Well, it depends on the potato. Potatoes are a starch, and starches are made of monosaccharides and polysaccharides. And, you know, potatoes are fine. If you want to get thick, potatoes will get you thick. But the thing is, guys, if you want your body to look a certain way, you have to pay attention to when you eat food, how does your body respond to it? Sometimes your body's going to hold water retention. Sometimes it's going to, you know, be stressed from processed sugar. But at the end of the day, if you've never taken a nutrition journal and written down everything you eat and see how your body responds, then you may not really understand. Like a lot of people are holding water and their face is all poofed up. And, you know, if you're training to look a certain way, that's not really gonna cut it. Now, if you eat potatoes and you don't hold water, that's fine. But then you gotta ask, well, where did the potatoes come from? How did the farmers use the soil? Were there any, what are they called? I forget the glyphosate. There's chemicals that they put on soil there's chemicals they put on plants and pesticides and all this. But the good thing about potatoes is because they're under the ground, a lot of times they're protected. So again, oh cool, there's my coffee. Let's see. There we go. I mean, the thing is, man, most people don't really focus on what they eat. And again, I'm not trying to tell anyone to change what they eat. I'm just telling people to be aware of the things that they eat. And if they want to look differently, then the way you train and the way you eat is definitely the key to changing how the body looks, right? For the better, for the worse. So, again, there's lots of ways to skin a cat. There's lots of ways to get lean. Carbohydrates are not inherently nearly as bad as people say, but the problem is the type of peanut head. Oh, thanks, man. You say I'm a peanut head? Whatever that means. Well, welcome to the stream, brother. All right. Anyways, let's come over here. So we've got that. My thoughts on invading Greenland? Strategically, it makes sense. Makes sense.